Hello and welcome to the virtual orientations for the Thousand Islands event. This event is so much fun. We organize races all throughout the year in all different places and different styles and whatnot, but this one's pretty special. So if you haven't done it before, I recommend checking it out and I hope to see you at the start line. I'll go through this orientation in a very chronological way. I'll talk about everything that happens before the race, and we'll talk about swim, then bike, then run, and then post-race. Obviously, if you're not doing a swim, bike, run, it might not all be applicable to you, so you can skip forward or go backwards kind of thing. So if you're doing a swim cycle, for example, you can skip over the run part. If you're doing one of our run-only events, you can skip over swim and bike, etc., etc. So, pre-race. My number one piece of advice, if you take nothing else away from this video, is that I recommend picking up your bib the day before the race. So the day before the race, from 3 to 6 p.m., you can come onto the site, onto the venue, meet our race crew, ask your questions, see the maps in person, and see the layout for yourself. You're welcome to pick up your bib, you get your swim cap and your stickers and all that stuff. It's just a lot less things that you have to do on race day. So by doing it the day before from 3 to 6 p.m., it'll make your race day go so much smoother and gives you a really nice and easy chance to talk to our team and make sure you are race ready. I'll use my cursor here for a little bit, but the day before the race, and on race day obviously, everything's set up here at Centene Park. The day before the race, the roads are all open, there's no road closures. You can park pretty much right up here on Water Street, on Park Street, or anywhere nearby and just walk on over, tour the facilities, see what's going on. And at 4 o'clock and at 5 o'clock, we're gonna do an in-person orientation. So we'll basically repeat this video, but in person in front of you. I'll walk you around myself and walk you to the swim area and show you where you go in and out and explain some nuances about the swim, and then I'll walk you over to the bike mountain line and so on and so forth. So if you're like me and you're a visual learner and you want to come in person the day before the race from 3 to 6 p.m., come a little closer to 4 or a little closer to 5 and come do one of those 2 free walkthroughs with me. They're a lot of fun. Hope you can make it. If you don't pick up your bib the day before, you can still pick it up on race day. We're there open at 7 a.m. We usually say on race day you should arrive on site an hour before the start of your race. That gives you enough time to find parking, make your way to the venue, set up your equipment, go for a warm-up, use the washroom one last time, and things like that. An hour both sounds like a lot of time and not a lot of time, but I'd say don't get there any less than an hour before your start time. So I'll use my cursor here for a little bit. On race day, part of Water Street will be closed because it's part of the bike course. There's lots of parking down here just near the tunnel. There's a blockhouse and a big parking lot right here. It's usually pretty quiet in the early morning on a Sunday, but if it does fill up, if you're one of the later races or if you're a spectator coming later in the day and that's full, plenty of parking in the community, especially on the north side of Highway 2 here or King Street. A lot of little roads here with plenty of parking. So it hasn't been an issue in the past, but you'll park nearby, make your way over to Centene Park, pick up your bib if you haven't already, and then if you have or haven't picking up your bib, you'll have to pick up your timing chip on race day. We'll do your body marking on race day, and then you get to your start line. Other little things, we will have late registration available if it's available. Last year the race sold out, and the year before it did as well. We've increased capacity for 2026, but if the race doesn't sell out, you can still sign up the day before or on race day. It is much, much easier if you sign up online ahead of time. That way you show up and things are just ready. Otherwise, if you show up and you have to register, there's time baked into registering and paying and whatnot. And you got lots of stuff to do anyway if you're doing a race that day. So why complicate life? Sign up ahead of time and make sure you secure your spot for the Thousand Islands event. So now it's time for your race. We'll go through the swim. So you've parked on site. You've made your way over to Centene Park. You've got your bib, timing chip, and body marking done. Your bike is set up with all the rest of your gear, and you make your way to the start line. So I'll use my cursor again here. All the bikes are parked kind of in this section of Centene, and you walk on down just behind this sign here. There's a set of staircases. Everyone's going to line up along the staircase there, going this way, and we'll help you out with this. We'll try and get everyone lined up in order of anticipated swim time. So the super speedy swimmers at the front, if you're a 130 or a 140 per 100 swimmer, you'll be kind of near the front, somewhere over here. If you're a 2 minute per 100 swimmer, you'll be kind of here, and a 3 minute swimmer, make your way a little further back. We'll help you with this, and it's not an exact science. And the reason for that is that with this race, we do what's called chip timing. So we'll do a big 3, 2, 1, go, but your timing chip doesn't actually start when we say go. Your timing chip will get activated and your race will start, so to speak, when you cross into the water. So the staircase that leads you into the water is nice and narrow. It kind of allows for 2 people at a time to get into the water. And that means that if everyone lines up in kind of where they think they fit in nicely, once you're in the water, there will be a lot less passing and overlapping and whatnot. By the time the last person gets into the water, the first swimmer is usually kind of around here. So everyone's nice and stretched out. It's not the typical washing machine you might find at some triathlons. It's a much more gentle experience. So that's how everyone gets in the water. My other little saying, I guess, is that there's no sense on being the first one in the water unless you plan on being the first one out of the water because of this chip timing system we have in place. So make your way to the start line, find yourself a spot that fits nicely with your anticipated pace. If you're not sure where you fit in, it's a good chance to meet your neighbors and meet other athletes that you're competing with that day. It's a great way to make some friends on race day. So for the Olympic, you're starting here at the staircase, you make your way in, and you're going to do 2 loops following A, B, C, D, E, and F. And then you'll do a second loop just like that, making your way back out the staircase that you started from. Pretty straightforward. For the sprint, it's the same thing. Everyone lines up in the same fashion. We still do chip timing. You'll do 1 loop just like that. And then for the try, you'll do kind of a system just like this as shown in the image here. But in years past, we've gotten a little bit lucky and we've been able to move the buoys over a little bit east so that you swim a little bit more in this protected cove. Makes it a little bit of a better experience, but that'll depend on a few things on race day. Either way, it's a very straightforward swim. My little 3 golden rules, I guess, for everybody is that regardless of what race you're doing, you're going counterclockwise, keeping the buoys on your left, and you're doing 1 or 2 loops. 2 loops if it's the Olympic or the swim cycle, and then 1 loop for anything else. So if you remember, again, nothing else, and we're all triathletes, so we all think in 3s, there's 3 golden rules. Swimming counterclockwise, buoys on your left, and then the number of loops. Those are kind of the 3 important things you have to remember while you're there. So other miscellaneous things is that we'll have a photographer on site capturing all these fun moments. If you see the photographer, give them your game face, your pain face, your happy face, your happy it's over face, whatever it might be. For cutoff times, ideally you're done your swim before the next race starts. So take a look at the swim times for each race. As long as you can complete your swim before the next race starts, you're going to be great. If you're off by a minute or so, we can find a way to make it work and get you out of the water safely. But please be considerate of all the other athletes that are coming in the water after you. Make sure you can kind of get yourself in and out of that water in that swim time. For the bike, very straightforward. I'll use my cursor again just to show you. So you've swam in the water right here going this way. You come out of the stairs, get your bike, and you make your way on to Water Street. Water Street's right here. You do 1 block going east, 1 block going north, and then it's just out and back to where you started. So this part here is just 1 block on Water Street. 4th Street is the 1 block going north. And this is where all the elevation is. I'm not joking when I say this is kind of the only hill in the course. There's a nice big uphill to start your bike ride, just like you hoped I would say. And then you do a right-hand turn going all the way out to Maitland and back. If you're doing the Olympic distance or the swim cycle, you'll do a U-turn at the top of the hill to do a second lap. So for you Olympic cyclists, you go kind of east on Water, north on Ford, east on King Street all the way to the end. You come back and you do that section twice, and then you come down the hill and back to where you started. So you only have to do that big Ford hill just once. So you're welcome for that at the very least. Years ago, they used to put the turnaround down at the bottom. You had to do a second lap of that big hill. So we're trying to save you some headache where we can. For everybody else doing the sprint or the try, just 1 loop. So you're just going to go east on Water, north on Ford, east on King, and back to where you started from. Easy as that. We have the road closure until noon, so please make sure you can finish comfortably by noon. That way you're not mixing in with too much traffic. The first kilometer or so all of this section here and then a little bit going through Brockville, that's all going to be closed to traffic. It's going to be cyclists only. Once you get out past North Augusta Road, everything else is open to traffic. There's usually very little traffic on an early Sunday morning, and all the start times for the races are spread out in a way where you're not all going to be bunching through the course at the same time. And of course, cycling is the second discipline in a triathlon. So The swim will space you out even more. You get out onto the bike, it's just going to be your kind of cohort of athletes out on there, out on the course there. It's usually a pretty civil experience, but please be mindful of the fact that you are riding on an open course for part of the bike course. So you have to be vigilant, head on a swivel, as we say, watching out for your other competitors in case someone's passing you, in case you have to pass someone, but also being mindful of traffic coming towards you or from behind in a vehicle. Please be safe out there. And then for swim cycle athletes, you'll do your swim, you'll do your bike, and when you come back to the finish line, or to the finish of the bike, you'll put your bike back on the bike rack, and then you just run to the finish line. Your time will stop once you've crossed the actual finish line. So even though you've only signed up for a swim cycle, you do have to run the extra 50 to 60 meters to get from the transition zone to the finish line. That way you still get your finish line experience. You can put your hands up in the air and get the photos. We'll get that timing chip back, and then you're right there where the water station is after the race to get some snacks and refreshments. And then the best part of the day is the run. This part is really what makes the event what it is. I'll use my cursor again. You drop your bike off right over here. You come through the transition zone and you run all the way down. This is all a brand new bike path that they built in 2024. It's wonderful. You go down here, a nice little shaded part of the run where you run between two rows of trees. And then once you're here, you're going to run through the tunnel and back. Once you get in the tunnel, it's about, like 15 degrees cooler in there. It's a really nice break from summer weather. The tunnel has these little drips kind of coming from the ceiling. It's very refreshing. It's a really fun place to run. It's a really neat run feature, and I hope that you love it. It's Canada's oldest railway tunnel, and it got refurbished in 2017 with the Canada 150 project. They've converted it into a tourist destination, and it's closed just for you guys. There's only 2 days a year where this tunnel is closed for private use, and we get one of them. There's a whole sound and light show in there, so no need to wear any headphones because you're going to have music and sound going the whole time. The light show is to die for, and it's going to make up a large portion of this run course. So it's 2.5 kilometers to go there and back. So you can see you'll either do 1 loop, 2 loops, or 4 loops depending on which race that you're doing. There's a water station at the mouth of the tunnel right over here, which you pass twice. You pass it on the way in and you pass it on the way out. We also try and have a hose right here if anybody wants to get sprayed. So as you kind of are coming through the hot part of the course here, you go through these shaded trees. There's usually a volunteer with a hose there. If you want to, go up to them and they'll spray you down. You can grab some water and sports drink on your way in and then enjoy the tunnel, make your way out, and get hosed down one more time before slogging it through the summer heat back to Centene Park. Once again, we'll have photographers on course throughout the whole day, so make sure you smile for the camera. If you have any questions about that, let us know. But the big thing really is making sure that you know the number of loops that you're doing. It's 1, 2, or 4. And when you make your way back down towards Centene Park, there'll be a sign right around here saying, extra loop, turn here, and you'll do your U-turn. So if you're doing that U-turn, just do it safely, because there might be somebody who's starting their run of the triathlon going this way, and you'll be U-turning kind of into their lane of traffic. If you're finishing the race, you kind of ignore that sign and you make your way to the big inflatable archway that says finish, and your triathlon is done. So that's it. At that point, you've completed the swim, bike, run, or any combination of, and you will be a 2026 Thousand Islands event finisher. You'll be able to celebrate with all your competitors and friends and family that you brought. It's a very spectator-friendly course, lots of great places to watch the race from. So I really encourage you to bring everybody with you. Once that race is done, we'll have snacks on site, water and sports drinks, and all kinds of fun things. All the photos that the photographers took throughout the day are available online. Usually a day or two. We say 3, but usually we're pretty good about beating that timeline. It's kind of like the classic under promise, over deliver, if I can put it that way. But you can go to photos.somersault.ca to see all your photos, and all of your results will be live really as soon as you cross the finish line. It's results.somersault.ca. My other little tip here is if you do go to results.somersault.ca and you find your results, if you click on your name, it automatically tags all the photos that we find of you for you. So instead of going to 2 different websites, I like to say go to results.somersault.ca, find how you did. You can see how you compared to everybody else. You can go all crazy on the data. But if you click on your name, it'll automatically sort through all the photos that we took, usually around 30,000 photos. And AI does whatever it does to show you just the photos of you racing on race day. So I'll save you a click there. And that's it. If you have any questions about the race, let me know. It's adam@somersault.ca. My inbox is always open, very easy to get a hold of. Otherwise, I hope to see you on race day, or better yet, the day before, for bib pickup.